you've been following this channel for any time at all, you probably know that I bought Tesla Model 3 about a year and a half ago. I've been talking about what it's like to own it, my expectations, and my biggest expectation of this car is I need it and I'm hoping it will last to 200,000 miles. You know, before I drove reliable old cars, Honda Accord, Toyota Camry. Those type of cars were my cars. Now, I actually didn't drive a Toyota Camry. We've had multiple Honda Accords, and those have by far been my favorite car. So why did I switch to Tesla? There's a lot of reasons, but point being, the biggest question is, can a Tesla Model 3 specifically in my case last to 200,000 miles? Number one. Number two, if it can, how long should it last? Am I an expert on this? No, but I've done a lot of research and I own the car. Now, right now, I've owned it for a year and a half. I've put about 26,000 miles on it. So that tells me, I think I'm probably going to be putting about, just to be conservative, about 20,000 miles per year on it. Hopefully a little less, but I'm hoping that this car is going to last me 10 years essentially. And let's dive into the data. So number one, I'm told, by the way, I have the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive LFP. It's the cheapest one you can get. There's different types of batteries and different types of Teslas. This is the LFP, okay? So LFP batteries are supposed to last between 1,000 and 1,500 charge cycles, according to my research. Again, if there's an expert watching this video and you're saying that's not true, or if you're not an expert, fact check me, but 1,000 to 1,500 charge cycles. So how many miles on average is that going to be? Well, according to my research, this claim should lead to the conclusion that my battery pack will last for 300,000, yeah, that's the low end, to 500,000 miles. Now, if a car gets to that point, other parts might have to be replaced. But the thing about electric cars is they don't have a lot of parts. This isn't like a gas car where there's so many different parts. Is it more economical? It might be. And if it is, this will be a home run of a purchase. But let's get into more of the data here because this is kind of interesting. So Tesla is telling me that my car is going to last to 500,000 miles. That's great and all. But is that true? Well, number one, we don't know yet. These cars haven't been around long enough for people to be constantly hitting that milestone. Now, if you look at it, there's people out there with Tesla Model S's that have reached, 300,000, 400,000 miles. Some of them with battery replacements, some not. And, the first thing we have to conclude is there's no guarantee, right? There's going to be outliers. There's going to be the car that lasts to 1,000,000 miles. There's going to be the car that needs a replacement at 40,000. Not every Tesla is built the same. It is not equal. That being said, on average, the data is telling me that this 200,000 mile margin should be easy to hit. And there's going to be degradation along the way. It doesn't mean that I'm going to, have perfect battery health or even great, but the car should still run and it should still get me, 200 miles in EPA rated range when I hit 200,000. Now, again, this is part of the reason I'm making videos. If that doesn't end up happening, you'll be the first to hear about it, and I'll tell you about my experience. And it is completely possible that will happen even if Teslas on average do because of outliers. But let's go back into the data. Number one, driving styles. If you've got a lead foot, if you're just flooring it, obviously the battery, the motor, nothing lasts forever, right? The more you abuse it, the more you enjoy it, the more likely you're going to have a shorter lifespan. Also, extreme climates. I live in a place that gets really hot and really cold. How does that affect things? But I park my car in a garage. And so that's, I'm able to insulate it a little bit. There's all these factors that are so complicated. Someone could be watching, this in California where the weather's great and it's not crazy, but they drive over crazy city roads, and me, it's just calm highway drive. There are so many different scenarios, and people are so quick to say, you're wrong because of this, you're wrong. Everyone's different. And we just need to know what the data says on average. But here's what I find really interesting is that Tesla will tell you your car will last to 500,000 miles, but the warranty is not to 500,000 miles, right? Well, duh, that would be bad business. They're not going to guarantee it. Now, my warranty is the worst warranty you can have, I believe. And it's giving me, I think it's like an 8-year or 100,000 miles for a battery replacement. So if I get a bad battery, which by the way, according to Tesla, the definition of a bad battery is if it's degraded 30% or more. So if you have 70% capacity or less before 100,000 miles or 8 years, you get a new battery. That is my warranty. So right off the bat, that tells me, hey, Tesla's really confident it's going to last to 100,000 miles. Now, I know tons of gas cars that have a wild reputation for not lasting to 100,000 miles without repairs. Honda Accords not being one of those. Okay. But I'm just saying, there are a lot of gas cars out there already. Gas cars that have been around for a long time, where 100,000 miles is like some huge achievement for some people. So the bare minimum, the guarantee by Tesla is 100,000. That is really encouraging right there. And that was one thing that I really loved. Now, I've mentioned this in a video before, and people are very quick to say Tesla's not going to honor that. They're not actually going to change your battery. Okay, first of all, why are you saying that? Did that happen to you? No, it didn't. Okay, well, until that happens to me, I'm not going to believe that because in writing it says they will. And I've seen multiple videos where they have. So I'm just going to get that out of the way. Now, I've kind of looked at like best case scenario and worst case scenario. And here's where I'm going to kind of form my expectations for how long my battery will last. We're going to call it the bull case and the bear case. So the bull case is 500,000 miles. That's what Tesla's claiming. I think it's a bit wild, but again, EVs are new and LFP batteries, based on the data and the charge cycle data, it's saying that as long as I don't abuse my car and maybe I get a little lucky, I should get 500,000 miles without having to have a battery replacement. Tesla has software updates that continuously help their batteries become more efficient. Let's talk about the bear case, worst case scenario. So, what I'm seeing is a lot of, I shouldn't say a lot, but a handful of Teslas that have had issues right before and right after kind of that 100,000 mile mark. I'm thinking something could go wrong with my battery around 120, 145, even 150,000 miles, and you're out of warranty. You know, there's a reason Tesla's putting their warranty where it is. And I think it's very within the realm of possibilities that I could get a lemon, so to speak, and have my battery die out on me at 150,000 miles. If that happened, would it be devastating? Yeah, kind of. I think I'd regret my purchase just a little bit because, I mean, new battery packs are what, 15 grand? I mean, that's like half of what I bought the car for. That's crazy. Now, is that outside of the realm of possibilities for gas cars? Well, not entirely. I mean, I don't know if it will cost that much, but engines are rebuilt and replaced all the time. In fact, my other car, it's a Honda truck, Honda Ridgeline, if you want to call it that. It's not really a truck, but truck has a rebuilt engine in it. It runs great, by the way. But I mean, that happens with cars, right? So to act like Tesla's is, just because it's an EV, it's not going to have issues. It's crazy. But worst case scenario, I think that could happen. So, anyways, just to kind of wrap this all up, my expectations are 200,000 miles. That's what I really want my car to last to. And if you're curious to see, I mean, subscribe, follow along the journey. That's what I'm hoping for. The data is telling me 1,000 to 1,500 cycles, which 300 to 500,000 miles. Man, that would be amazing. I mean, I'd love to run this car into the ground. The warranty says about 8 years, 100,000 miles, 70% retention. So that's what they're guaranteeing. And then a lot of people are saying about 10 to 20% degradation after 100,000 miles is very realistic. You are going to notice your battery degrade, but I mean, 270 miles. So if that degrades 20%, it's about 50 miles. That means around 100,000 miles, I'll still be able to drive my Tesla for 220 EPA rated miles. That is more than plenty for me to get to work and back twice. And I have a long commute. At the end of the day, though, there's going to be outliers on both sides. Things are going to affect it, like climate, driving habits. We'll see, though. 200,000 miles, that's the goal for my Tesla Model 3. Thanks for watching.